San Diego State outscored Alabama 32-16 in the final 11 minutes of the game. One of the other big storylines, Brandon Miller, SEC Player of the Year, center of controversy here during the season, 3 of 19. He missed his final 8 shots of the game, and San Diego State is moving on to the Elite Eight. The first Elite Eight appearance in conference history, representing for the Mountain West, as San Diego State busting brackets on this night. Darion Trammell, 21 points. Jaden Ledee off the bench, 12 points. Matt Bradley, their leading scorer, didn't get a bucket until 3 minutes to play in this game. He was clutched down the stretch from the free throw line. And Alabama, the Crimson Tide, rolling back home. The tournament is over for the #1 overall seed. Get some instant analysis. Welcome in, Tim and Matt. And Tim, look, this is a bracket buster here. This is a bracket buster. We had Alabama in the Final Four. Your reaction right now to the #1 overall seed being bounced?
You know, before the game we came on, we thought this was a bad matchup for Alabama. Why? Because San Diego State has a team that's built on a word that I handicapped this entire tournament on, culture. It's so hard to find. They have a style of play. They have an identity, Brian Dutcher's crew. They defend. They defend in the half court, and they are tough, and they are physical. And what they showed in this game was all those aspects, Mac. When they fell behind by 9, it was no panic. They stuck to their game plan. They outworked Alabama. They out-physical Alabama, and they threw the last knockout punch.
What a performance this was. I'm not surprised. I'm not. We told you pregame that San Diego State was going to be able to dictate terms. Said it would be hard for Bama to get to 70. Didn't get to 70. And for them to do that with Bradley not even having an A game. I mean, Miller is the story. All right. Everything that has surrounded this program, he's been, over the course of, since that story came out, yes, he's had a few big performances, but this has undeniably been a major thing. And for Miller, it wasn't just on him. San Diego State dictated the terms of this game, and this is a huge upset. And by the way, there have only been 3 #1 overall seeds that have won a national championship since the concept was brought to the bracket in 2004. Louisville, a decade ago, was the most recent one to do that. So it's hard to do this. But Brandon Miller, shooting, sub 25% from the field in this tournament. He didn't have it tonight. Credit to Dutcher and his team for being able to scheme there, and San Diego State being able to hold on. I mean, Bama really, really pushed there. But once again, when teams get into this tournament and they have such a powerful defensive identity, and they have a doctrine that they play by, and getting them out of their comfort zone is borderline impossible, sometimes those defensive teams wind up losing games that are decided around 60, 64, 66 points. But you normally are not going to beat them by playing the style you want to play, like Alabama wanted to play. They fell short. Alabama was rightfully, guys, it was rightfully the #1 overall seed. I didn't have them getting out of the region. I actually had Creighton, but I thought Bama would reach the Elite Eight. It didn't because it is, I'm going to say it, it's a little bit of a cliche, but coaches bang the table on this all the time because it's accurate. The tournament is about matchups. And when Brian Dutcher saw that they were going to get Alabama, he knew the dudes they have on this at San Diego State are grown men. Grown men. Really, really tough. Extremely impressive performance. And they didn't even shoot well. They did this with defense. They got in the muck. They put them through molasses, and they get the win, and another #1 overall seed is going to fall short of winning the title.
Tim, what did San Diego State do to disrupt Alabama?
They play such a physical style of play that you have to keep attacking. What Alabama did was just decide they were going to shoot threes. 27 attempts, they made 3. So when things get tough like that, you got to post up, you got to drive, you got to go north and south. You can't settle, and that's what San Diego State, trust me, the one thing coming into this game, you know what they thought? All right, we have a shot if they settle. If these guys settle and shoot jump shots, we have a chance to win this game. It's exactly what happened. And this is going to be the story of the NCAA tournament. The way the three-point shot has become so prevalent, everybody just relies on it. You have a night where you go 3 of 27, you ain't beating too many teams. That was so amazing what Miami did against Drake. They struggled, only made 1 3 and ended up winning that game. So San Diego State forced them to shoot shots, Matt, and they could not bang them down. It's as simple as that.
The three-point number is outrageous. Now, this is an Alabama team that has lived. They live by the three or the layup/dunk. You know, we want the shots from 22 feet and out or 5 feet and in. And to go 3 of 27 from three-point range. Some of that is on San Diego State. Some of it is a little bit of bad luck. Those things.
I disagree with you because when it's not going in 18, 19, I think we got to get away from
the lack of adjustment here, but that's their game. Like, how are you going to get away from that? You saw
shoot more layups, shoot more dunks.
You saw what Mensa was doing, going up against that team, man.
I understand.
10 layers are tough. Like,
I understand what you're saying, but like when it's not working, San Diego State shot 17 threes, and if you went guy for guy, who had the taller, longer team? Alabama had taller, longer guys. It's San Diego State. What they keep doing? Attacking, getting to the free throw line, getting to the lane. I thought Alabama settled. Now, is that the kid's fault or that's Nate Oates' fault? You make your own decision for that. But when you're going 3 of 27, that's a problem. Like, there comes a point where we got to go, all right, guys, like, we got to get 2 feet in the lane. We got to start shooting more twos. If not, you're going to lose. And when you're the number 1 seed, you don't lose like that. You lose like that if you're a higher seed where you're like, we didn't make any shots. I thought they gave in, and that's exactly what San Diego State wanted them to do, shoot jumpers, and that's how they lost.
I think that one of the underrated storylines here in this game is the fact that Matt Bradley, their leading scorer, didn't have a bucket until 3 minutes to go in the second half. They win with defense.
Yes.
But this is a team, and as you know, you hold the banner for the Mountain West. You call their games.
Thank you.
What I'm saying here is you know how this conference plays. You know how the SEC plays. This conference will test you. Do you feel like San Diego State, that built them for the matchup like this? Like Brian Dutcher was able to outcoach Nate Oates in this game?
Yes, and they had an experienced group. Alabama has a team that relies on some young guys, and they didn't make a shot. You know, if Alabama makes 9 threes, they win this game by double digits, and that's 9 of 27. We're talking about 33% from the field. They just had a historic night where they could not make a shot, and he played into Brian Dutcher's hands. This is how San Diego State wanted them. They wanted them to become a jump shooting team. They didn't want to get a driving team or a team that dominated points in the paint. Look at the bench points there. We talked about San Diego State's depth. This was his deepest team. But to your point, Hakeem, San Diego State didn't play out of its mind. It shot sub 40%. It only shot 17 threes, and it made 6 of them. And that ended up being the story of the game, was three-point shooting. Alabama just could not make a shot.
Well, it was interesting at halftime when Brian Dutcher was being interviewed. He said that pace is in our favor. And we talked about coming in, if they can dictate the tempo and the tempo of this game, they can dictate the back and forth here, they would have control, because we see what Alabama does. They're going to run up and down the floor. They're going to try to get hit threes. They're going to try to get buckets, and they took them out of their game. That's what I saw San Diego State do, is that they completely took Alabama out of their rhythm.
I thought, Matt, when Alabama went up 9 in the second half, I'll admit it, I did think the game was over. I was like, oh, this is because San Diego State's not like a scoring team. I go up 9. I felt like the game was over, and then San Diego State responded.
And that was a critical point, right? Because right before that, we saw Charles Bediako fall on Matt Bradley.
Yeah.
Dutcher gets a tech.
Bradley got the foul against him, not Bediako.
Right.
Big moment.
Go to the line, and then the game started to open up a little. I go, uh-oh, that might be a turning point.
I thought so, too.
We were watching, we thought this could be a turning point here. This tech on Dutcher for yelling, and he rightfully so had an argument on that call, but thought, maybe Alabama's going to get away with one here and going to go on and win this game. It didn't happen in the end. This defense, look, defense in the tournament, it can carry you far. And if San Diego State, that's their calling card, I don't see why they can't get to the Final Four.
Yeah, I think this was a freak shooting night, too. And Brandon Miller came in struggling in the tournament. It really got off to a rocky start in game number 1, and it carried over from the SEC championship game, an SEC championship that they won, but he was 5 of 20. He just never seemed comfortable, never got any sort of rhythm. And one thing Brian Dutcher did, he threw the kitchen sink at him. I mean, how many different guys guarded him? And what a luxury San Diego State has that they can throw Ledee at him, a rope. They could switch on Bradley. They could get physical with him. They literally just kept rotating body after body, and they frustrated Brandon Miller, and he was not the same player that he was, 2-3 weeks ago. But at the end of the day, if they make 3 more threes, they win this game, and they just shot awful.
Can I mention a guy we haven't talked about yet?
Absolutely.
Miller, this is his tournament. Didn't play well on the whole. You can see that's evident there.
Well, he missed his last 8 shots tonight.
We
talked about how bad he was.
I'm talking about Darren Trammell right now. Okay. He had 21. All right. 2 nights in a row we've seen in a regional semi the smallest dude on the floor be the most important. It was on K-State. We saw it. Marquise
Noel.
At, well, I was going to see Marquise Square Garden, but whatever. Either way. And now we had Darren Trammell here. Both, just tremendous players. And this is a huge night for the Mountain West, getting to the Elite Eight for the first time in program history. Now, the Mountain West hasn't been around since the 40s, 50s, and 60s. It came to life at the tail end of the 1990s, but there had never been a Mountain West team that had made it this far until tonight. Oh, by the way, Brian Dutcher was long the coach in waiting at San Diego State, took over for none other than Steve Fisher. It's Steve Fisher's birthday today, and Dutcher has quietly got the job done. The Mountain West needed to prove itself in this tournament. It went 0-4 last year in the NCAA tournament. San Diego State was the only team that got a win in this one, gets all the way to the Elite Eight. And so now, as we talk in the immediate aftermath of this, you ready? Either San Diego State, Creighton, Princeton, Kansas State, or Florida Atlantic will play on the first Monday in April for the national championship. One of those 5 teams, none of whom were on the board as recently as even like 2 months ago to play for a title. One of the 5 is going to do it.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.